Hello. And hello. Thank you for joining me, guys. Look at what I have discovered. The other day I discovered this secret German Reddit. I still don't understand exactly what this is or the implications of it even. And I think the implications are significant, maybe even dire. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I found a Reddit called r/SchnitzelCrime, which I immediately knew I needed to react to this. I haven't even read this description, so let's read this together. Schnitzel crime, sauce on the breading, noodles as a side dish? With a schnitzel? Of course not. What's wrong? Wait, what's wrong with having noodles as a side dish to a thin piece of meat? Okay, these and other schnitzel crimes are being collected here. For our international visitors, we are collecting schnitzel crimes. Okay, that would be me. So thank you for clarifying that, even though you just said that. But okay, we are collecting schnitzel crimes. If you want to know how to make a schnitzel correctly, okay, I need to watch this video. This is a freaking 9-minute long video, guys. Holy crap! I'm not watching this whole thing right now.
Was ist bei einem richtig guten Wiener?
You couldn't have found an English one for the international people, guys. How many international people speak German? I guess some. Some. Where's the... Wait, there's not even captions! We're gonna have to be a visual learner, which I am anyway. Okay, you get the butter and the white goop, and you pound the meat, and you put the spices. Okay, you dip it. Okay, we're frying it, or, you know, okay. I understand. Look, we're frying it in the pan. It's thin, it's fried, it's good. You have a lemon as a side. Probably to squeeze onto the schnitzel, of course. And then, I mean, I don't know. I guess you can also cook it in the oven. Okay, do I know how to cook a schnitzel? No, not at all. Maybe I'll react to that more properly another day. But I want to see the crimes. I'm just going to go to the top of all time. Let's go to the top of all time. Schnitzel crimes. Where did you find this? Here in America? Is this a donut schnitzel sandwich? Is that a sushi schnitzel? Where even, is it even a schnitzel if it's just if it's just little pieces of meat inside a sushi roll? Schnitzel donuts with Bailey's filling and schnitzel sushi were both incredibly delicious. So even a crime can be delicious. I'd try schnitzel sushi, but I wouldn't tell anyone. I'd just pretend I hadn't seen the donut. Schnitzel crimes against humanity. So this is serious crime right here, guys. What we have here is a schnitzel lying on what appears to be a towel or some dough. This looks somehow unsanitary. I'll give it that. I don't know what's going on or why you would do this, but there is the lemon. I'm learning that a lemon is a crucial part of the recipe, I guess, to a schnitzel. You need a lemon squeeze onto it. Give it a little zest, a little acid taste. I like that. But I don't even know what this is sitting on. This actually might be a crime as far as food safety. Okay, that tops almost everything I've seen on here. Why? What is this? What's going on here? Oh, I don't have a German here sitting with me, so I'm going to have to use AI. Why are Germans outraged at this image? The outrage over the image stems from the very specific and highly entertaining corner of the German and Austrian internet culture, the context of schnitzel crime. How the hell did it know that? So this is not like an obscure thing. This is a real thing. And of course, you have a word for it, you know? It's one word, SchnitzelVerbrechen. Although, of course, I know that German. Now, you guys have explained to me that in German, you just combine, you have a lot of compound words. So you can just make up words. Here is exactly what this display is considered in a culinary atrocity. The subject of the crime, the image shows a gelato display case where a vendor has created a Wiener Schnitzel flavor. They have literally jammed real breaded meat cutlets and lemon slices directly into a mound of ice cream? No fucking way. I was right. This is a food safety crime. And I'm going to throw up. The sacred nature of Schnitzel. Wiener Schnitzel is a traditional and highly respected dish in Germany and Austria. The golden rule of proper Schnitzel is that the breading must remain perfectly crispy. Oh man, this sounds excellent. A properly crispy Schnitzel with a little lemon squeeze. The violation is obvious. Combining a savory, warm, crispy fried cutlet with cold, sweet dairy is viewed as a grotesque violation. Yeah, this is the type of shit that will literally make you sick. You will get the stomach flu the night that you choose to eat this. Not that anyone would, which also means this has probably been sitting like that for months. And they're probably like, hey, you know, the ice cream is cold, so it's keeping the schnitzel, you know, good. You know, that's probably their rationale, and it's been sitting there for months. This subreddit can be closed. We have a winner. Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's a reason this is the #2 post of all time. If anything, it should be higher than this one. This one's funny, but this one is actually grotesque and should be a crime. At first glance, this is kind of funny because this is actually very reminiscent of a popular Midwestern American item called the pork tenderloin sandwich. So, like, I mean, this is a pork tenderloin sandwich where the meat is famously, you know, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, a pork tenderloin in a lot of ways is similar to a schnitzel, huh? It's thin, breaded, crispy, very good, tender. And when it's put on a sandwich, it's famously, you know, gigantic compared to the bread. So, I mean, that's very similar to what I'm looking at here. So how is this a crime? To me, this just looks like lunch. Bigger than my head, a completely absurd price. $4.50? Is $4.50 an absurd price? That seems like a good price. How is that an absurd price? This is at Carnival. I mean, he acknowledges it's bigger than his head. So how is this, you know, he's saying it's gigantic and $4.50. €4.50. Damn, what do you get for 15? A whole calf? So people are actually impressed. This is the opposite of a crime. I drive. So people are going to drive all the way there for this. That's how I like it. The bread roll merely serves as a handle. Yes, sir. This is exactly like a pork tenderloin. Wow. Excellent. So, okay. A schnitzel crime is actually, sometimes it can go full circle and become, what's the opposite of a crime? A virtuous act. This is a virtuous act, this schnitzel sandwich. PlayStation 5 8 schnitzel. PlayStation 5 Slim 6.8 schnitzel. Oh, God. So it translates to measured in schnitzel. It's a long time running internet joke that Americans will use anything but the metric system to measure things. Wait. Is AI really making this about us? I don't think this is about us. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. This really exemplifies the fact that this shit was programmed not only by an American company, but also on the internet, which, you know, is filled with Americans that think it's all about them, isn't it? Unless this is. Maybe this is about us, guys. Even though it's a Japanese console compared to a German-Austrian food, and it's in German, how is this about America? I don't think it is, but maybe it is. I can't tell if I'm offended by this or not. I am a little bit upset that, like, the crust is detached so entirely from the chicken. You know, I mean, that's just, like, not exactly what I would want out of my schnitzel. But is it worthy of being, like, the top post on this subreddit or one of the top posts? I don't know. I'm confused. It does look a little... let me see here. I showed Grandma the sub. She immediately wanted to see how the High Council reacted. And here we have the mod team of the Schnitzel crime subreddit saying your post is either not about Schnitzel or it's not a crime. So there you go. Which ironically it is, apparently it is a crime to post a Schnitzel if it's not a crime. So it becomes a crime in a twisted way. So I'm sure they are getting a visit either from the police or a note on their door about this post, because this apparently does not constitute a crime. She's just Grandma, unchallenged, incomparable, and therefore exempt from any judgment, but she also looks very good regardless. Are we talking about Grandma or the Schnitzel? A delicate blossom of a Schnitzel. Tell your grandma you love her right away. 9.510. 0.5 deducted for pure hunger-related envy. Okay, so the fact that the crust is a little bit detached, or like entirely detached from the meat, is not a crime. And this potato side dish is also not a crime. I was unsure. You know, apparently having noodles is a crime, but potatoes, not a crime. And I am intrigued by the fact that this is one of the top posts ever on this subreddit, but it was marked by a mod as being, you know, like, it needs to be deleted, is what it seems like this guy is saying. Which is ironic, you know, like, this could make an episode of Real or Earson. You know, like, one of the most popular, most entertaining posts of all time, they're going to remove because it's, you know, just technically violates the rules of entertainment. Donuts with Schnitzel. Okay, so this is a common crime. It's a crime that's being committed despite everybody knowing it's a crime. You know, it's being committed by multiple different organizations. For some reason, people keep wanting to add the Schnitzel to a dessert, whether it be ice cream or a donut. They're making what you could even say is a deadly sin. One of the 7 deadly sins, you know, of gluttony and even greed. Because you're taking something that's perfect and cherished, and you should appreciate the Schnitzel for what it is and eat it properly. But you, arrogantly, are trying to improve it by adding a dessert onto it. That's not how it works, and it's frankly blasphemous. And even though I've never had a Schnitzel, I'm offended. His internet access should be revoked, they say. Damn! This can't be a crime. How is this a crime? This is a virtuous act, depending on the price. I mean, this is phenomenal. Could be a world record. Let's see. Well, that actually looks good. Nicely puffed up. Cranberries and lemons separated. Price. See, I'm thinking like a German now. It's all relative to the price. You know, everything has a price. And it's all, you know, whether or not something is good, you have to factor in the price. €6 for pork, 8 for veal. This was 3 years ago, so safe to assume this is now $35 for pork and $95 for veal. But back in the heyday of the world, this was a good deal. It's interesting to me that they said it's nice and puffy. That is an aspect of Schnitzel I would never have guessed. You know, I would have frankly thought that was a flaw. I would have thought you wanted it to be perfectly flat, no puff. And the puff, I think, yeah, it implies there's a separation. There has to be. It's a puff between the meat and the crisp breading. So you actually want the separation to an extent. And with that said, I've now spent 15 minutes looking at crimes, and this was more entertaining than I ever imagined. So therefore, I will be doing it again, and I might even do it too often. But, you know, that's the risk you take. Eventually, I'm going to wring this dry. Nobody will ever want to watch me react to Schnitzel crimes again. But I think I'm going to react to them once a month, because as of right now, I'm highly intrigued. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.